Let's VAMONOS.
Hi, my name is Joanna Lopez, owner of Texas Premium Financial Services. We are here to offer the community our bookkeeping services, CFO services, and tax preparation for your business. If you have any questions regarding the services, please give us a call at 832-990-0403. Thank you.
Hey everybody, this is Let's VAMONOS. I'm your host Desiree and we are live. We are here a little bit earlier than normal, but no worries. We're going to still have a wonderful episode today, and we hope that you join on as you do always to support us. We are also really excited about today's guest, and we're looking forward to sharing all the things about her. And if you are interested in watching this episode, you can come on live and watch it on IG, YouTube, or Instagram, or you can also watch it later on. So thank you so much for our Texas Premium Financial Services for being one of our sponsors. We're super excited. If you ever need any bookkeeping services, please reach out to them. They can help you with your business. And also thank you so much to Sam for helping us today produce our episode. She is with the Yellow Management, and you can get any virtual assistant needs with her. So definitely reach out to her if you need some virtual assistant needs for your business as well. So just a reminder, we do help market and advertise for small businesses in the community. So if you're ever needing any type of advertisement or marketing, please let us know. You can get advertisement with us as low as $20 an episode. We do have 2 spots available for this quarter. We do quarterly packages. So if you ever have any questions about that, please let us know and we can help y'all with that. Also, as a reminder, don't forget, I am a Berry Fab ambassador. So get those chocolate dipped strawberries ASAP from the Berry Fab. They are delicious. I haven't gotten any in a while and I need to get some actually. So super excited about sharing the community events. So we're going to talk about the community events today before we get our episode going and before we introduce our wonderful guest, Andrea Arana with Las Perras Cafe. Also, we're in a new spot. We are at Las Perras headquarters, HQ headquarters. So that's why you're like, where are you at? I'm letting you know. I won't give you the address, but we're at Las Perras Cafe headquarters. But let's start with the community events today. So today is Wednesday, which is my favorite day of the week for Axelrad. Shop Local Market is there every Wednesday with Mexican steaks, and they have wonderful food, just food in general, but they have steaks, they do chicken, they do fish, they do vegetarian, you name it. You can go out for a steak night, jazz and steak night with your loved one every Wednesday at Axelrad. Also, Shop Local Market is at Houston Farmers Market every Saturday and Sunday. I don't know why I was thinking Friday. Every Saturday and Sunday. And so go check out them at Houston Farmers Market, Shop Local Market, and support small businesses out there. We also have this Saturday, Houston Farmers Market is doing an Easter celebration with collaboration with Shop Local Market. And you are able to go out there and do all kinds of activities, kids, face painting, jelly, egg house, jelly, like it's like a jelly gingerbread Easter bread. It's something different. And you can get you a jelly bread house, have fun with the kids, shop, all those things. Also, what's coming up on the 8th, which is this Saturday, this is the season of Frida, 18th annual Frida Festival. They're going to be doing all types of events all month long, and they're going to launch this Saturday with their Viva Frida art exhibition, which is from 6 to 9. I don't know if you need to have tickets, but do look that up. If you do so, you can find them on Mecca Houston on IG. Also, so many great things that are going on this month. April is going to be a great month. 420 Flower Hour at the Railway Heights. This is by the Honeysuckle brand, which I have a great relationship with them. They do wonderful products for your lifestyle, to help you with your mental health, to help you with stress, all those things. They are having a 420 Flower Hour event. I want y'all to check out what you missed last year. So let's see that. All right. Thank you so much to the Honeysuckle brand for sharing that with us. We are so excited. Oh, we're so excited to be able to share that and support. Let me make sure I know that I saw some people logging on, so let me make sure we don't have any questions just yet. Thank you all so much for joining us. Yeah, it's a double audio though. So if you do have any questions for our guest today, please drop them down below. If you're watching from Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, we will get to them as we can and hopefully follow up with them as well. We're on community events. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're just now joining us, Melanin Minds, get your early bird tickets today. They are live, RSVP for the event. They will be having their 3rd annual health conference this July 27th through the 30th here in Houston. So go check them out on Instagram to be able to reserve your tickets today. Get that early bird special. We also have our wonderful sponsors who are the Hustle Never Stops Apparel that are sponsoring our trending topics today. Hustle Never Stops Apparel. If you are watching this and you want to partake in this discount and like some of the stuff that they have, I'm actually wearing one of their shirts today. Code VAMONOS is going to get you 10% off. So definitely want to take advantage of that opportunity. This is only here. This is only on this show. This is only when you watch this show. So code VAMOS. And let's also learn a little bit more about the Hustle Never Stops Apparel.
Hey, what's up? I'm Daniel Benavides, owner of H&S Apparel Company. H&S is a small business, Hispanic-owned, based out of Houston, Texas. Our brand was inspired by the ones with a plan, a purpose, a vision, the ones with no excuses, and know that the hustle never stops. You can find us on Instagram at H&S_apparel or on our website at hustleneverstopsapparel.com. And we also offer a pickup option at our gym if needed.
And then, all right. Thank you so much to Hustle Never Stops Apparel. Thank you so much. Like I said, code VAMOS, 10% off to get that discount. So no further ado, we are going to start our trending topics, and we always love to bring our guests on. So today our guest is Andrea Arana with Las Perras Cafe. So thank you so much. We're going to scooch this over here so we can see our lovely guest. And if we're going to move things around here. There we go.
Hi.
We can get adjusted. Ooh, just a little bit. Scooch in a little bit. So thank you so much for joining.
Yes, of course.
Yes. And am I saying your last name right?
Arana.
Arana. Okay. I'm not familiar with it, and I am Mex-Tex, so I'm trying to make sure I pronounce everything right. But thank you so much for joining us. Let me just adjust a little bit more. Hold on a second, because I want to make sure we can see us appropriately. I feel like
scoot back.
Actually, I need you to scoot forward just a little. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, there we go. So thank you so much for inviting us to your headquarters.
Yes, of course.
I really appreciate that. We are super excited about today to share all the things, but we also like to bring our guests on for the trending topics, because it just kind of like a little bit of like what's going on in the world, right? And also a little bit of an icebreaker. So thank y'all so much for joining us. If y'all have any questions, again, please drop them down below and we'll get to them as soon as we can. I don't see anything else just yet. Hello, Emily. Yes. If y'all, Emily, my hairdresser did it for me this morning. So thank you so much. Glam by Emily. Shout her out. Thank you so much. But couple trending topics today. And I think we have some graphics today. I tried to put some graphics up. First one is Kendall Jenner and Bad Bunny on the horse riding date. Oh, you love it. Yes. So we got a kind of a grainy picture here. It's not the best quality. That's what the internet gave me, y'all. I wasn't there. It wasn't a first-hand account. So any thoughts or opinions about
on this specifically,
yeah,
or
this
their relationship?
Yeah, this specifically.
Well, I saw hilarious like telenovela video on TikTok. And they called her Candle Janner.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like we can't stop talking about them.
Yeah.
If you're a wrestling fan, which my family is, he was also on WrestleMania. He got choke slammed on Monday Night Raw. Y'all, it was hilarious. It was just all the things. He's doing everything right, really. He's being relevant. So I think he's
I
just.
think he was doing that before.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
true. But now he's like taking it up a notch. I feel, especially with the whole Kendall Jenner. Are you a fan of the relationship?
I mean, it's a little disappointing. Like, I saw him and Taylor Swift have a moment.
Yes.
I thought that would have been cute.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And why? And it was almost like she actually kind of had more Latina in her in that moment.
Yeah, she was feeling it. She was like, you could see she was trying to like stay in her seat, but she really wanted to get up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Amor sin sazón. That's what they called the novela. It was great.
Yes. So yeah, I don't know, Bad Bunny. I don't see anything coming through, but yeah, let us know if you have any thoughts about that. In the meantime, this is Zach Morris here that we got sharing. This is gonna make anybody like. It made me feel old. I don't know how it'll make you feel, but yesterday was the 50th anniversary of the first cell phone call. Yeah, 50 years. But the cell phone, we're talking about this brick here.
Okay.
Like the big, the original cell phone, not the little iPhones that we have now, right? The brick. So.
Movies like in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I guess in the 80s too.
So 50 years, y'all.
Yeah.
That, I don't know, that just made me feel kind of old.
That is crazy.
And me and Sam actually chatted about Zach Morris and the brick because depending on what age you are, do people still know who Saved by the Bell is? Like I'm in my 40s, y'all, so I know I don't look like it, but I am. And so I was like 9 and 10 when Saved by the Bell came out. So are you familiar with Saved by the Bell?
Of course.
Yeah.
I also think it's really fascinating how like TikTok resurgence of people watching Friends.
Oh yes,
Which I think is so interesting.
That is so funny because
and they're fascinated by like my husband's a high school teacher, and they love to like anytime he goes on deep dives about like the 2000s or the 90s, they're just like on the edge
like
of their seat.
Is that how we were with 70s and 80s?
I think so. But yeah, it's funny.
Interesting.
And with the internet, they can really go on deep dives and watch like.
Sure.
Yeah.
We actually chatted about possibly talking about the whole Friends thing because adding it as a trending topic because there are this new generation is talking about how it's also offensive. Some of the things that are happening on Friends.
I never was really a huge fan of Friends.
Okay, well we can't be friends. No. Yeah, there's some people that just they don't like it. It's one of those things. I still watch it to this day to like veg out.
Yeah,
like,
you know what's gonna happen. It's predictable. It's comforting.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, well,
that's me in The Office.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too. I do like The Office. Okay, we can be friends now. And then, if you did not know, today is Wednesday, and the launch of the Mario Brothers movie is out today. So, y'all, I don't get paid to do this. I don't get paid to share this stuff. I'm just sharing. So just so y'all know, I love movies. I love all this types of things. So, hopefully me and my family will get to go see it. Are you familiar with Super Mario Brothers?
I'm familiar with it, but I'm not a big gamer. But I have friends who are like super into Mario Kart, so I'm sure they're going to watch it.
My kids are really big into just video games, so that's one of the reasons why we're going to go see that as well. So I hope y'all are enjoying this conversation. I don't know if there's any comments coming through. Let me see. Thank y'all so much for joining. But yeah. We are really glad to have Andrea with us today, shared a little bit about the trending topics, but we also like to talk, before we get started with I guess the meat of the conversation. I never really call it an interview. I know it is an interview, but it's really more of a conversation. Right. But we really like to start with a fun fact. So something fun about yourself that you would like to share that maybe people might not know right off the bat about you if they saw you for the first time, right? So any fun facts you'd like to share?
Yeah, I went to high school in Japan on a military base. So a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Now, I did do some research on you because I do that with all of my guests.
Oh, okay.
So I did find out about that. So it's not new to me, but
but
definitely
so I can expand on it if you want. So basically from 8th grade until high school, I went to high school on a military base. So I was in track, student council. We would go on away trips to all different parts of Japan. We would usually take the bus. I had prom in Tokyo, so that was really cool. So we were on student council, and
the prom committee brought all of our decorations to the hotel. It's called the Nusano Hotel. It's like a military hotel for like everyone to celebrate, you know, whatever events that they have.
Do you speak second or third language?
I speak Spanish, but I don't speak Japanese.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
a little, like I think I was obviously better when I was there, but as time has gone by, I've definitely lost it.
Yeah, for sure. That's really cool, though. Yeah, when I learned that about you, and I learned that through the Voyage interview that you did back last year.
Yes.
And so I was like, that's really cool because I love that. So, so fun facts out there for Andrea. If you want to learn more, keep watching. We're going to talk more about what's going on with her business. We're going to talk about we got some questions. Let's see what we got here. Man, I can't wait till it comes out. Looking forward to the Blue Beetle movie. Oh, we're talking about the trending topics. Oh, nice. I'm learning Japanese. Any tips?
Actually, if you speak Spanish, the pronunciation between Spanish and Japanese actually will serve you. Oh. Like, there's a lot of ara in Japanese that you wouldn't expect.
Interesting.
That's like one of the symbols of like the basic alphabet in kanji.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's easier if you speak Spanish than if you only speak English.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's good to know. I hope that's helpful. Maria Garby, I think that's how you're saying. I'm sorry. But yeah, definitely love, all the movies. Blue Beetle is going to be with a Latino, the actor from Cobra Kai. I don't know his name.
Oh.
But the main actor.
My little brothers watch that.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
The Barbie movie's also coming out.
Yes, the Barbie movie's coming out. My husband just showed me the trailer this morning. But, so let's talk a little bit about Las Perras Cafe and kind of like where you came from, where you started. If any of y'all watched my IG, we met last October with at a Poder Hispano market event, and it was really cool because at that time I met you in a different transition of your business. So different labeling, different aesthetic, everything's different. And now you're like that new picture that you have out. I love it. It's very powerful. I love the new labeling. I love the new themes also of the coffee. It's very empowering. I just love that. So what inspired you to start your business, specifically a coffee business? And also, what were some of the challenges when you first started?
So what inspired me to get into coffee, period, was I've always been into food. So like even when I was on a military base in Japan, I was in culinary arts program in high school. Always wanted to like be the leader of everything. That's just how I was. And then I went to the Hilton College here at U of H, graduated in 2013, and then really was into like beer and wine. So that was my minor. And then I did maybe like 6 to 7 years in hotels and fine dining. So just wanted to learn everything about food, leadership, you know, like the business side of things. But in the back of my mind, I always knew that I wanted to open my own cafe one day. But I was one of those people who wanted to be an expert in everything before I like went out and did it on my own. Which I don't think you should do that, by the way. I think you should, you know, get some experience, but just go for it. You'll learn along the way, and it's fine. And so, that's kind of why I wanted to get into coffee. And when it comes to, like, my brand specifically and, like, why I did it the way I did it, I think it was good that I got experience in the world because I think I learned a lot about what I did not stand for. And I think a lot of times people, when they start a business, they're like, I just want everyone to like my coffee and I just want all the customers. Which obviously, yes, you want to have as many customers come into your space as possible. But the more you try to cater to everyone, the more you cater to no one.
Right.
So I was very intentional with what I wanted my brand to stand for, what my target demographic was going to be, and really like focused on my value system when I did my marketing. So it's very apparent what my value system is when you look at my coffee and when you just come to my Instagram page. And so that's really what inspires me now and kind of like what brought me from being in the corporate world into being a business owner.
Right. Yeah, and you're right about some people just want to be liked by everybody, right? Yeah. And unfortunately these days we have to really kind of cater, not necessarily cater, but stand for what is important to
Yeah.
us, right? So a lot of y'all know that with Let's Vamonos, I love my community, specifically the Latino community. And so this is definitely an outlet for those to come on here to be able to share their voice and to share their experiences and where they might not have an opportunity like others, right? So I really appreciate that. Your brand is very empowering. I love the new empowering part that you've added to your bottles. You can find your bottles now currently at the
Little Red Box in the East End, Cochinita also in the East End, which Cochinita has taken over the entire space. So before it was Kicking Kombucha and Cochinita, so it's all hers now.
Oh, okay.
So come visit her, 5420 Lawndale. That's my friend Victoria. I'm very proud of her.
Yes.
And then Henderson and Kane in the Heights is also one of our vendors.
Yeah.
And I'm actually also going to start selling cold brew to a bar. And I'm still perfecting the recipe.
Yeah.
Because basically they're transitioning from an espresso martini to a cold brew martini.
Okay.
So I'm playing around with some infusions, and we're going to sample those probably on Friday.
Oh, okay. So where will we be able to sample this?
Well, it's Trash Panda. It's on the north side.
Okay.
But it's I'm going to basically sample it with the owner and see which variation he likes. That's going to pack the most punch and give like the best complement with the rest of his espresso martini.
Interesting. Well, that's exciting. Yes. Yeah. So definitely check out those locations. I have not been to the Henderson and Kane location yet, but I have been to the other two.
It's a barbecue restaurant. It's very good.
Yes. I've heard it's really good. I just haven't been out there. But yeah, it's great to see you in those locations because, like I said, we first met just at a market. You were just popping up. But there's been also a lot of changes going on. So if y'all been following Andrea, she's had a couple different business changes that have happened. And some of y'all might want to know the Cheeseman. Some of y'all might want to know, hey, maybe what can Andrea teach us, or give us some insight about business, right? Yeah. So, like I said, you've had a change. So what have you learned from your recent experience? And with what you know now, what would you have done differently?
Well, I think that's a double-edged sword, because it's like everything that has brought me to this point has only helped my brand grow. So while there have been some setbacks, for instance, I'll start from the beginning. So we were supposed to be on the north side, right? March of last year, and we were working with an architect for like the whole, from March until maybe like beginning of October. Then things started to slow down a little bit. Then the developer decided he didn't have money to finish the project. So that was the whole thing. And I just was like, just give me my deposit back and that's fine. So, on one hand, maybe I would have worked on my brand longer before I started looking for a space.
Right.
But, the equipment that I bought, I'm selling to Victoria. I got my deposit back. In the meantime, I was working on my brand and being very intentional with what I wanted everything to look like. So, there are opportunities to maybe plan a little bit better. Maybe I would have taken longer to try to find and build more capital. But that's not really my area of expertise. So you just, you do the best with what you have, and you kind of have to just go for it and take calculated risks. Don't just be like putting a second mortgage on your house. Don't tell your husband to quit his job. That's what I mean by calculated risk. Think about worst case scenario, and if the worst case scenario is not that bad, then go for it and just know what the risks are going to be. Fast forward to after that space, I was like, okay, well that was bad. The holidays came and went, and then in January I went to a pop-up at Idle Hands because a burger concept started in there by a skateboarder that I really like. He's in the health space. He doesn't drink, and he's still like an active skateboarder, and he's like in his 30s, so that's kind of unheard of. Usually, for a skateboarder, your career is very short, very dangerous, injuries, and they just don't take care of themselves. So I went to that pop-up, brought my beans because of course I'm always networking.
Yes.
And I was like, hey, I'm looking for a space. If you guys are looking to have a coffee vendor in any of your other buildings, because the investors were there, let me know. And the next day I made a reel. They reached out to me. They invited me to rent out their space. Long story short, March was awesome. We got a chance to show people what we could do in the kitchen, behind the bar, host events. I invited my friends who own businesses to do pop-ups.
Yeah.
I really tried to take advantage of every opportunity that came of that space. So all's well that ends well. Unfortunately, that building is then I just got stuck in the middle of,
so things are just completely out of your control.
Out of my control, but I got all my equipment out, thankfully, and that's kind of where we're at now. So I'm still looking for a space. I still want to try to be very intentional. I want a kitchen. The dream would be to get a bigger roaster and have a kitchen, a roaster, and a cafe all in one in a Latino neighborhood. Well, my demographic is women of color, so it's not just Latinos, it's women of color, to feel like this is a space for them.
Yeah.
There's badass women of color behind the bar making your coffee.
Yeah.
And women of color do make good coffee, and we're actually the ones that harvest it in a lot of the countries where you taste these amazing beans, whether it be Africa, Central and South America. So from seed to cup, women do rule coffee, and I feel like a lot of times people don't expect that. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
definitely. I love that you shared about what had happened.
Yeah,
because it's not about, like we said, it's not about trying to just share the experiences,
right, and
share some of the things that you've gone through. For those that asked about how to order, can you order online?
Yes, you can order online, lasperrascafe.com. Right now we just have the Mexican natural, but literally after we meet today, I'm going to cup some new coffees. So that Mexican natural was probably one of my favorite coffees that we've ever had. So I'm bringing that to her because I'm I'm going to find something as good as this.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. But I do have limited quantities of the bags available. So if you're local, or even if you live outside of Houston, I can ship that to you. I don't ship the cold brew just yet, just because it is something that needs to be kept on ice.
Right.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Well, I love everything that you're doing. I think you're a great example of young girls too out there that want to do something that might seem like predominantly perceived as a non-Latina thing, in the sense of we don't see a lot of Latina owned coffee businesses.
Right.
I don't know if there's any, honestly, the only one I know of is Segundo, which is husband and wife owned, and but I don't know of more than that. You know what I'm saying? There's few and far between.
Right.
And so I'm just excited about your journey.
Thank you.
Because I know, just based on talking with you here, I know you're going to do it, and I know it's going to come to you.
Thank you
So
so much.
anybody knows of a location? She's looking for a location.
Thank you.
Put it out there. Tell your friends. Tell people, hey, let us, share that information, because that's usually how it works these days, right? Connecting, networking, and this is also what this platform is about as well, to help connect and network with people that might not necessarily get to meet you in person, right? So I'm really excited about that. Also, I wanted to share a little bit about, she mentioned also about capital. As Latinas, we don't have enough access to capital, and that's something that I've learned through my own journey, trying to, get funding or get investors or whatever. We don't have that access, right? And this is also an opportunity to talk about, as women, as Latina women, we have to come together to let people know what we can do, because what you did in March was amazing.
Thank you.
And that, to bet on us to some extent, right? That you're going to want us on your team, your company, your business, and that we are full of value in the community. Only trying to put us in our little boxes.
Right.
So definitely keep that in businesses. Capital is definitely something we need more of. We've got some questions. Let's see if we can get to them. Such insightful babes. Thank you, Desiree, for doing this. Saludos. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much, y'all. Let's see. And again, if you have any questions, please drop them down below. We'll get to them as soon as we can. The coffee industry, you shared a little bit, but what else would you like to share with other other people in the community as far as like insight or just your passion to share with them?
Yeah, I would share a few things. I think that if you haven't started your business yet and maybe you're thinking about it, I would really think about like how passionate am I about what I do, because I feel like on Instagram a lot of the times there's like you just see like the highlights of people's lives,
Yes,
and so you don't see the hard parts, the trials and the tribulations, and so you really have to think like, am I passionate about this? If I have a horrible week, am I still going to want to wake up and do it the next day? And if the answer is no, looking for what it is that be that for you. Also, I think it's really important to put water all the cups in your life. So like, you know, if you have a family, like it's okay if you don't finish everything by, you know, 10 o'clock, just stop at 7 and spend time with your family, because it's important to nurture all the things in your life that bring you joy. You know, like I have a child, months old, and he's the love of my life, you know, but they feed each other. So like, I can't be an amazing mom if I don't have my business, because I'm passionate about that. So same with my husband, you know, it's important to spend time with him. And, you know, if I'm like being really grumpy because I had a horrible week, to like check in at the end of the week and be like, hey, I'm sorry. You know?
Those are great words of wisdom, words of advice. I love that. Because yes, as entrepreneurs, especially as moms and as Latina women, we tend to try to do it all. One of the things that I love that we had chatted about previously is like you mentioned that you really like to focus on certain things one at a time versus how sometimes we like to multitask.
I hate multitasking. I've made it a point to not do that anymore. When I catch myself doing it, I like try to like snap out of it, because it drives me crazy.
And it is true. I think we sometimes are, trained as children to do that too. As little ones, we think, we see our moms also do all the things. I've seen my mom and my grandmother do a million different things, and thinking, they can do it. We can do it.
Sorry to cut you off, but have you ever like caught yourself watching someone multitask and you're like, man, you look miserable? Have you ever noticed that?
Yes. If y'all would have seen me earlier, I was trying to do that, and I was like, I knew it wasn't working. It doesn't work. I was like, I need to just stop and focus what I was doing. So yes, it is. It's not fun.
It's not
fun. So I appreciate that, because you know there is sometimes, and just because it's the only way you know how to do it doesn't mean it's the best way.
Right.
Yeah. So, what are future plans for the coffee business? So we're here now, April 2023. Where do you see yourself, I guess, in the next, by the end of the year, next year? I don't want to say 5 years, because that's really long. So I like to do my goals in like baby steps.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, I am, and it's like kind of like piggybacking off of what we were talking about earlier. I'm not really trying to be like a billionaire or anything. I think for me, like, I obviously need to eventually expand my roasting program, because our roaster is really small. I'm going to be very intentional with looking for the right location. I don't know how long that's going to take, so I don't want to put myself on a timeline. It's the right fit. But definitely whenever that happens, whether it takes a year and a half, 2 years, I just want to be a pillar in the community for people to, like, you have your house, you have your work. I want it to be that third place where you can actually just come, hang out, and feel like this place was like made for you. Yeah. And I don't know how long that's going to take. But that's my goal for my cafe. Yeah, and I love that. And I think I think you're on a good start. I think you definitely have that passion for it, like you said. It's if y'all been following me, there's been days and weeks where I'm kind of like, okay, this is these trials and tribulations that some people don't see, right? But I work through them, and I always come back to square one. And for me personally, I always the goal is, am I having fun? Because that's the goal for me. I got to be having fun with what I'm doing. If I'm not having fun anymore, then I might need to reassess, or try to figure out why I'm not having fun, right? Like, when I was having fun before. But, so I love that. So let's see if there's any more questions. Let's see what we got here. Multitasking is part of a Latina DNA. Oh, yep, that's my mom. That was, she's so true, so right on that. So yeah, if y'all have any more questions, we'll drop them down below. We have a couple more minutes to spare.
And we would definitely want to hear from y'all. Share with us anything, any insight, any just comments or anything that you'd like to share. And we really appreciate y'all joining us and being with us right now. Making sure I didn't leave anybody out or miss anything. I don't see, but yeah, thank y'all so much for being here and just joining us. And as far as what's your favorite coffee? What's your favorite coffee to drink? Or what kind of coffee? Or what kind of coffee? Just
okay, so we can talk about like origins. I don't really have like a preference, but I really like more like the Mexican coffee that I have right now. It's an anaerobic fermentation coffee. So basically what that means is once they pick the coffee cherry off of the tree, they put it in a bag of water for 24 hours and it creates fermentation.
Okay.
Then they depulp the fruit and what's left is the coffee seed and it creates a fruity flavor profile. Oh. So I like any coffees that have more like fruity notes, you know. That's what I'm into right now.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, let's see. We've got a question possibly. When did you realize multitasking was a no for you? Is there a story?
Oh yeah. So I think once I had my son, I'm a perfectionist. I want to be a really good mom, and obviously that's not possible, but I think one thing that you can do, and one thing that I remember from being a kid was like, you know when your parents ignoring you. And I used to hate that because I was a talker.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I was a talker. So I don't want to do that. So I think once I had him, I'm like, okay, when I have him, I'm focused 100% on him. And when I'm working, I'm focused 100% on working. And if I can't do that, if I'm trying to do both, then one of them has to be put away, and it's work. You know. So I think having him and also
go ahead.
My husband is the sweetest, but I'll be trying to do something, and he'll be talking, and I'm like, just give me a minute. 5 minutes later, just give me a minute, I'm not done yet. Because I'm not paying attention.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be rude.
Yeah.
So I think that's also like, you have to
give that person the time to really focus. Yeah. It's so funny you say that, because there's many conversations me and my husband have had, and he's like, I told you that. And I was like, you did?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
You probably did, but I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't focused on that moment. So I get it. Yeah. Let's see here. So good. Thank you. Thank y'all so much for joining. I always like to also give our guests the last kind of like, words of wisdom, consejos, whatever you want to call it, about anything. So any last words for our listeners, our viewers today, as far as just words of wisdom that you'd like to give?
Yeah, I think also, like, if you don't own a business, I feel like some people want to own a business because they think it's cool and it's fun. It's also overrated too in a lot of ways. Like, it's for me because that's my personality type.
Right.
But if you have a job that pays you enough money to live comfortably, you get to go on vacation, you get to spend time with your kids, like, I think that's all you can really ask for, Like, comparison is the greatest thief of joy. So sometimes you see a friend who has way more money, and you're like, yeah, but they never get to spend time with their kid. Or like, maybe let's say someone who doesn't have kids and they get to go on vacation. You're like, yeah, but I really enjoy having a kid. Or maybe you don't want to have kids and you're like, am I missing something? And then you're like, they tell you, oh, I didn't sleep at all because my son was sick last night. So it's just like, don't assume that somebody else has it more figured out than you. And something I was thinking about this morning, because I forgot what I was watching. Oh, I was thinking about Taylor Swift this morning. I was listening to her music, and she had this 5 things that she thought about when writing the Midnight album, and it was like self-loathing, just like really like things that I would like, Jesus Christ, I would never say that about myself. Like self-loathing is something that I'm sure we still experience it, but I'm like, Taylor Swift experiences self-loathing. Yeah. And I was just thinking, like, man, Taylor Swift is so wealthy now. Yeah. But did you know that her father was a millionaire, and he basically helped her get her career started?
No, I did not know that.
Which, not to take anything away from her, she's extremely hardworking. But I think sometimes we don't think about where people started and how much further ahead they started off than us. Yeah. And I think that's something that you really have to like think about whenever you're starting to like think about like, why is somebody somewhere when I'm not?
Yeah.
Like,
when
their
there seems to be 10 steps ahead. Yeah, for sure. There's definitely, and there's also different, less challenges with people that have the capability to have that you know, experience, right? And even with what I do, like a lot of people have told me sometimes, like, oh, people don't really know, but I don't make billions of dollars, but I also, like, I'm very frugal with my lifestyle. Like, you'll never see me, not unfortunately, but you'll never see me with a name brand purse or a name brand shoes or anything like that. But that's not what makes me happy. Yeah. You know, everybody has their thing that makes them happy, right? And you know, one day, God willing, maybe one day I might have one. But right now, I'm okay with not having one. Yeah. So it's just kind of like where you start from, like you said, people that live a certain lifestyle, their priorities. They live a certain lifestyle, and so they're accustomed to having those things, or they want those things, and it's okay to want those things. It's definitely
to each their own.
To each their own, And so, but I didn't know that about her. Well, I didn't know about her dad being a millionaire.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I learned about that recently. Like I think he worked in the music industry, or like was able to like set her up to work for a producer, and obviously her talent took her.
For sure.
But there's probably so many people out there who don't have that.
Yeah. Thank you so much for Samara coming on, and Deborah, thank you so much for joining, Deborah. We really appreciate the support. And of course, Sam, thank you so much for asking that question earlier. I really appreciate everybody that's on here that's been chatting with us, but we are getting pretty much close on time. So if there's not any more questions, we'll let it maybe go for another minute or two. And there's not any questions that drop down, new questions, then we'll go ahead and move on to our next segment. But we really appreciate you for, one, like I said, welcoming into the headquarters, wanting to share your part of your journey and story about what you do. Some of y'all don't know, but me and you just had a short, brief conversation prior to today, and then when we first met back in October. But I'm very I always love to take pictures with small business owners. I always love to support. People know that about me. So, because I never know, I always think the person that I meet I never know where their journey's going to go, right? And so I really felt I've been using this word a lot, kismet, but super kismet about this whole experience. Like, just from me having the picture, me having the video, then, you know, all of the things that kind of have kind of domino effect, I guess, from that first moment to now. Right. And also really wanting to get a chance, an opportunity to interview in the new space, which I didn't get to, but that's okay. I'm even in a better space here at the headquarters. And it really wasn't even really about the space. It was really just about you. So it was just an opportunity. So I really thought that was so cool. Oh, we got a question. What's your favorite go-to coffee? She did share earlier, Deborah. But what's, I guess, like your...
Oh, yeah. So I really love my coffee. Like, one of my friends is, she's Victoria. She's going to New York today. And we were talking about how, like, I hate buying coffee at the airport. Because you never know if they're going to, like purge the steam wand. Like, that's what they've steamed the milk in, right? But I really am obsessed with my caramel latte. So I made my chef taught me, because I'm not a baker. Okay. I like to cook. I like to experiment with drinks. I came from mixology before. But our caramel cold brew latte is made with like real traditional caramel, and it's so good. That's my favorite go-to right now, and it's available at all of our locations.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I really appreciate that. That sounds good. I love caramel lattes. I love drinking caramel. But we're gonna go ahead and move on. We'll keep Andrea here with us as we share the rest of the good news. So we're going to move on to our advocacy work. If y'all did not know, we are helping promote Maker to Market. So if you're a maker and are interested in learning about popping up at markets, our wonderful Face Cisneros, the owner of Shop Local Market, is doing a workshop for free with WHI to learn how to pop up to some extent. Like if you want to go to a market, you want to go to a pop-up, all the ins and outs of what you need to know regarding how to be in a market setting. So check that out. That will be registrations up. I know those seats are limited, so you can scan that QR code and get an opportunity to register. Also, the other thing I wanted to share today is, if I can find it, here we go. Today is National Autism Awareness Month. Oh, let me pull that off. Oh, here we go. This is what happens when I do it. Oh, goodness. There it goes. National Autism Awareness Month. If you did not know, April 1st through April 30th is National Autism Awareness Month. Super excited about this. Actually, we'll be sharing more on our feed regarding specific stories of people that we know that are in small business that have autism. And so definitely stay tuned for that. That'll be something new that'll be coming up for this month. But other than that, we really appreciate, like, again, the love and support as always. And Deborah just said, I love the caramel too. Yes, so good. So we really appreciate y'all. And let me pop this off here. If y'all ever have any questions, though, please let us know in the DMs. I'm always available to help as much as possible. So if you're not able to watch this episode live, no worries. We'll be sharing all the highlights throughout the week. And also you'll be able to see the full episode on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So as always, let's vamonos.